We're gonna be doing some smart today. I'm gonna show you how I write my metal riffs. Now, over my entire music and guitar career, I've probably learned and created at least 1,000 riffs through just covers, learning songs for fun, for my band, for my various bands, plural. There were a lot of stupid alien noises. So I thought I would show you guys how I write good metal riffs without just being complete stupid alien noises, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what makes a metal riff good or not. Now, I know Ola and Nick both did videos like way back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, about how they write their metal riffs, and I'm gonna be doing a very different approach from Ola and similar to Nick. So, first you want to think about what makes a good riff a good riff. There are kind of 2 or 3 factors that I always consider whenever I think of a good riff. One of them is the groove. Take a song like Meshuggah Bleed, because I'm on a 6 string, so I can't do the actual, notes, but... Ow. Right? It's one note, but it has that groove factor that makes you just want to, get up and move around. That's a big part of it. Then there's melody. So, if you take a riff that's entirely based on melody and almost not groove at all, like this. I don't even need to say what song that was, because you're already singing in the shower, Tears Don't Fall. Then there are some riffs where those two meet in the middle, like Linkin Park, One Step Closer. Or like Deftones, My Own Summer. Right? Both those riffs have an iconic melody and an iconic groove that kind of makes you just want to get up, but also has a little bit of the feels. Okay, so as for actually writing riffs, the first thing you want to do, or you can do, I guess. Okay, so there are 2 ways to write good metal riffs. One, this is the way that I don't do as much, but it still works, is to keep in mind the chord progression that you're riffing over, or, that the riff is built on. So a lot of the best metal riffs are built on chord progression, like Gojira, Silvera. That's obviously built on, D sharp to D, and then it goes. You can make a riff out of the chord progression, out of notes in the chords that you're riffing over, which I don't find works as much for me, but this is kind of hard to teach because writing riffs is really, really, really subjective. This next technique might work better for you because it worked better for me, but you do. The technique that I use is what I call the spray and pray technique. It's where you just hit a bunch of random frets and hope that they play well together. To make the melody, there are also ways to use a bit of theory if you want to be a bit of a nerd. But yeah, what I do is I just hit a bunch of random frets and hope they would play nice together. So let's try that out. I'm just going to casually go to some good old 5-7-3 in drop D. By the way, we're in drop D today. So I'm just going to casually go to some good old 5-7-3. So 5-7-3 on an A string. So what I would do for frets is I would pick up to 6 frets completely max, is 6 the most I'll ever do, and then just move those same frets around different strings to make different notes. So there, I was just doing 3 frets. 5, 7, and 3 on the A string. Now, let's make a riff out of that. So we do 5, 7, 3, then on D string I'll do 5, and on G string, 3. So, we can put that together, we get... There's some kind of riff. This is where you want to add a bit of spice. So this is more of a metalcore vibe riff. So I'll do some just open strings. Classic chugs, Core Kid for life. I'm not a Core Kid. The good riff like this is that Avenged Sevenfold song. I can't remember the name because I hate A7X, but... That's played really badly. But that's kind of an example of using the, chugs and some frets. So let's put 2 chugs between each of those notes. So there's some kind of riff. Then a little pull off at the end too, from 3 to 0. So there's a riff. So it's kind of like Chelsea, or not Chelsea Grin, Asking Alexandria. So a riff played a lot with no kind of something at the end is just kind of boring. Like, I'll play it in context. right? There's no like tail, so it's kind of boring. That main riff that we just created is what's called a motif in music theory. It's the main leading line in your riff or song. The way you make riffs less boring is you had the motif, which is kind of the middle of each section of your riff. So this is our motif. And then you kind of do some random improv.
It was just random bullshit. It doesn't matter.
So I'll just do some minor thirds. After. Then power chords. You can just improv something, and that'll make it more spicy. Now, take a riff like Silvera again. The tail's only at the end of one of the things. So you can do it in the middle and at the end, or just at the end of each section. So... that was kind of cool. Or you can chordify some of them. So the way I create my chords, like obviously, I use actual chords sometimes, but it's a lot less like cowboy chords like that. Then I just take notes from the riff, like 2 or more notes, and combine them. So let's take these 3 and hope it plays well. It does not play well. Okay, so I found a chord that plays well. It's 5 on the A and D string and then 3 on the G string. So we can add that and slide up as like a little improv tail at the end. So I messed up, right? We could do that. So that's kind of how I write my riffs. And for those of you that are for like, oh, but this is only for the drop tunings, you stupid freaking zoomer. Okay. Standard tuning, same concept, just 2 frets higher because, 7 is the octave. Same concept. It's the exact same concept, you just have to do it on the appropriate frets so that it doesn't sound like crap. Right? And for those of you interested in getting low and dummy thick, I'm with you, right? We're only in drop D here. It's not 2009 anymore. We need more strings. Now, if you have a 7-string, an 8-string, a 14,000 string, like you have more strings, so you might think of different like fret patterns, but let's just deal with that stupid pitch for a sec. So if you can see, I have the Fortin plugin over here, and I'm just gonna go to the transpose thing and whoop. So now we're gonna drop D1. So take something in this tuning like the Mick Gordon soundtrack. Or Reflections from Nothing. For writing riffs in tunings like this, you won't play as much fast things. It kind of sounds like mush. So you'll play more kind of slow stuff. A good example of this is the song Second Death by Black Tongue. It's in drop C1, but I'm in drop D1, so deal with it. The riff goes like this. Right, it's kind of more slow and dummy thick. Now there are riffs in these tunings that are faster, like within the Ruins Shapeshifter. How you do this? It's the same concept as the last thing I talked about, you just do it a little bit slower. So, and pick less frets maybe. So, I like to use octaves for kind of gent riffing, so. Right, so let's pick 3 frets. So I'll do, obviously, And the frets, I'm not counting the open string. So for frets, I'll pick 5, 10, and 7. So there's a riff. In like 5 seconds, I made a whole new riff. And the rhythm is kind of ripping off the Mick Gordon soundtrack, but that's just because I'm here. Like, I could do it without, I just don't feel like it. Even with just those 3 frets, like, it started as this. And now we got... Just adding a few, like, guitar-specific things, even we could do squealies, or scrapes, squealies, pick scrape, you know, and just do random notes up here for that. That's how you write a low-tuned riff. Now, if we're talking about trying to write a riff with more strings, there. So I have no idea what tuning this is in. Drop G, okay. So this is in drop G, so you know if you want to do some. Anyway, so I don't really find actually that having more strings make me think of different patterns. It's kind of just the same. So, but some people might, so I'll go over it. Since the neck is thicker, you're probably gonna have a harder time finding frets to use. Like, just doesn't feel as natural. What I would do is not try to find frets that feel good to play, but just think of numbers in your head from 1 to 24. Think of numbers in your head and use those. So let's do 4, 13, and 6. There you go. We got that already. I was just improvising the whole time, and that's a good riff. Oh, that was cool. Now take a legendary breakdown like Spirit Box Blessed Be. All it's doing there is literally just doing zeros and ones. So you can make a riff out of the most basic patterns. So yeah, that's kind of how I do my riffs, is essentially, so this is the summary of this video. How to write metal riffs. Write metal riffs. It's essentially, that's it. Like, just find frets that you think sound good, and I don't know, do it. Now, with songs like Pain by Nick Nocturnal, the melody for that was... I'm still minus 1 semitone. It was... Which, admittedly, that's a really nice melody. I don't know how I came up with that. So, if you're trying to make, like, power metal, kind of more catchy, melodic melodies, that's where you gotta have theory. And that's also where I can help you with it, because I only know the tiniest bit of theory, and I am way better at just writing riffs than melodies. So, like... That's more my thing. So, that's all I have to say, I think. I hope this helps you, you know, write better riffs, because I put them into it. And I think it's a good technique for writing riffs. So that's all I have to say for this video, I guess. I hope this helped you, and if it did, yeah, leave a like, you know, subscribe. And it really helps me more than you think. It really, I don't want to talk about what you just heard. I do not want to talk about what you just heard. So, I'll catch you guys next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Shoot, hang on, let me try that again. Bass.